So maybe I should think before, maybe next time I think before. I know that I should think before I speak, 'cause I'm saying things that I don't even mean. Maybe I'm more honest than I wanna be. So maybe I should think before, maybe next time I think before I.
So why don't we just go through everybody really quickly and talk about what you're going to concentrate on today, and just think about what you felt the emphasis was that I gave you on that tape. What do you think you need to work on the most today? Why don't we start with you, Ashley?
Yeah, the biggest thing last week was making sure I have like a through line of my objective. Because I think before I was trying to make it too hard and have two separate objectives, but that just made it seem like my line to line tactics weren't really as connected. So I think my objective makes more sense. But I also think for me, when you also wanted us to be surprised by our insults. And I think for me, like an actory thing I do is like kind of scoff and do like a, instead of just letting the thoughts make me feel surprised. I think it's easy for me to just make that automatic like noise to indicate that I'm surprised. So I've been working on that the last few days, and so I really just want to focus on Joanna and making sure that I'm just like, oh my god, are you fucking serious right now, instead of just
Good. You know how when with your own lines and you have lists and you have different words that you need to think different things too, right? The same thing goes for the lines in your mind, right? Because every insult or every word that the other person says makes a different impression on you, doesn't it?
yeah.
So you've got to think different things. You can't just think, oh, they just insulted me, because it's really different if somebody calls you a pig than if somebody calls you insensitive, right? And they might even mean the same things, but they're different to you. They'll hit you in a different way, because maybe pig makes you think, are you calling me fat? And insensitive is like, I care a lot about you. I always show my feelings for you, right? So your thoughts are going to change according to what the other person says, as well as what you say. And that's what somebody new just posted on the sub this morning, and I was just writing this all out to him, is that looking for places to change your thoughts is what makes a performance have variety and interest, and makes it compelling. You can't be thinking the same thing, because in his monologue, he's just telling somebody, his ex-girlfriend, off because she wants to get back together, and he's saying, what in the hell, are you kidding? You're an idiot. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. And he was just kind of emphasizing with his body rather than thinking about all the different things he was saying. Okay, but that's something we all do in the beginning. We all still do it sometimes. So that's something that everybody needs to think about today. What words how are they different from each other? And how are your thoughts different? And what are the words that they're saying different from each other? Because there's constant change going on.
Focusing on not acting to the air, like just really honing in on Brittany and making sure that everything I say is to her, not just saying it out loud. So been really making sure that I'm looking at her in the eye, delivering every line, and really making an impact on her.
Right. I was thinking about, you want to say your words, and this goes to Chase too. You want to say your words in different ways, but what you're actually doing is trying to affect the other person in different ways with your different words, that you want to kind of hone in on and poke them in different places of their being with those different words. So how can I say this word that will make the most impact on her or him, right? And then how can I use this word in a different way to get at a different part of them? Where am I hitting them with this word? How am I trying to affect them with this word? So it's not just about you and your meaning, it's what your character thinks that word's going to do to the other person, right? So it really is, I mean, our words are our ammunition for getting what we want. And what we want is always about the other person. As they said in Stations 11, it's not about you. It's about what you want to do to that other person, what kind of effects you want to make on them, and in different ways, right? You're going to try different ways of affecting
I
them.
was like walk around my house just pretending like, my character likes coffee and like he sings songs about coffee in the show. So I'll just sing
That's
songs
great.
about. I don't drink coffee. I drink green tea, so it's maybe not the same thing, but.
But we have in acting, we have what we call substitution. If you really like green tea, you can think of that when you're talking about coffee. That you can substitute, like when if you're doing a broccoli commercial and you really, really hate broccoli, but you've got to talk like you love it, you can think about chocolate when you're talking about broccoli. Okay. Yeah. So it is possible to substitute in your mind. The same when you're doing a love scene with someone that you're not particularly attracted to, or you're really angry with someone who you really like. You got to switch faces in your mind. You can give your scene partner any identity that you want. And a lot of times it's a good idea to choose someone from your own life, someone that really pisses you off. If you have to have a scene where you're angry about something, someone that you absolutely are so attracted to, if it's someone you have to do a love scene with. So it's finding the right person that triggers those things in you, right? Or the right thing, like, tea or coffee, or, if you're not even that excited about any drinks, you can think of something else that excites you, right? So you just try switching out, what you're thinking about, and it might help you to get more excited.
Well, this week I focused on exaggerating my speech and certain words, but not just, like for the sake of doing it, but paying attention to the meaning behind each line. And I think that's pretty much what you were getting at last week. So I think I've gotten a little better with that today.
What we had to work on is she was really good at choosing really descriptive words, but we just needed to make sure that she uses them, right? all the way, rather than saying them like she's said them a million times. She has to say them from the context of her character in the moment, and there's about to be vampires attacking any minute and the whole world could end, and Demetra has just sort of a little habit, something that we're breaking and you're getting better and better at it, Demetra, but just has a little habit of saying things like, yeah, the world's going to end. Yeah. Whereas she needs to really make it, you might call that exaggerating for you, but it isn't really exaggerating if you really think about the consequences, right? It's appropriate.
What that really stems from is anxiety and kind of being scared to just let it all out. Even if I feel it, it's hard to just let it all out, because a lot of times I'm just like inside of myself,
Right. And you know what? It is a self-preservation mechanism, perhaps for you.
Yeah.
Because if you do get panic attacks and you feel a lot of anxiety, you might be afraid to go there. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have protected yourself by going, it's no big deal. Right?
Yeah.
Right. But that's not appropriate for your character to do. So we need to at the same time of feeling safe, that you can express yourself, that you can go there. You can get panicky. It's all right to be panicky as your character. even though you may not want to do that, in your everyday life, like at work or something. You may want to not show all of your true feelings about something. Know that it's safe and it's all right to as your character.
Yeah, I'll remember that. That
Okay.
helps.
Good.
Maybe I should think before, maybe next time I think before. I know that I should think before I speak, 'cause I'm saying things that I